The real Sir Syed, a British agent. Contrary to views expressed by those who glorified Sir Syed as Masiha for the Muslim community, he worked ceaselessly for the creation of a separate Muslim nation, which proved to be expensive for the community. Creator of Pakistan, a hero in India, was the heading of an article this writer wrote for the Pioneer dated October 23, 2017. This made me recall in detail the pivotal role Sir Syed Ahmed Khan played in furthering the divide between Hindus and Muslims in the subcontinent and propagating a paradigm leading to the creation of an Islamic Pakistan. However, efforts to glorify and eulogize him continue unabated, falsifying history and creating a spurious narrative in the process. A case in point is an article Sir Syed Khan, the Renaissance Man by Mr. M.J. Varsi, published in These column on October 17, 2018. The writer uses all possible adjectives to praise Sir Syed. He has described him as a dynamic person, a versatile genius, a scholar, social reformer, educationist, historian, archaeologist, and linguistic, gifted with rare vision and intellect. He further adds, eventually Sir Syed became the man whom destiny had chosen to play the role of a Masiha for the community. Mark the word, a Masiha for the community, for a man who unabashedly worked to strengthen the British Empire, called upon his fellow Muslims to support the foreign masters in the name of Islam, quoted or misquoted Quran to buttress his thesis that Hindus and Muslims were two separate nations and can never live as equals. The Masiha worked ceaselessly for the creation of a separate Muslim nation. His misadventure proved to be expensive for the community, divided the Muslims of the subcontinent into three separate countries. Sir Syed's biggest contribution is claimed to be setting up of Mohammedan Anglo-Oriental College (MAO) in 1877, which eventually blossomed into the Aligarh Muslim University in 1920. 1941, Muhammad Ali Jinnah had paid a handsome tribute to the AMU students when he described the university as the Arsenal of Pakistan. Addressing the AMU students on August 31, 1941, Liaquat Ali Khan declared, "We look to you for every kind of ammunition to win the battle of independence of the Muslim nation." In 1943, Jinnah had called the Khan my right hand. For a decade before independence, he was at the center of all League's activities. He was the first Prime Minister of Pakistan. In January 1941, the AMU Students' Union passed a resolution that the best way to achieve Indian freedom and to bring about lasting peace in the country is to strive for the establishment of independent states in the region of Hindu and Muslim majorities. The divisive AMU mindset has its origins in the rare vision and intellect of Sir Syed, described by Varsi as a versatile genius. Speaking in Meerut in March 1888, Sir Syed laid the outline of a disastrous roadmap leading to the bloody partition of the country in 1947 and in furthering hostilities between Hindus and Muslims in the subcontinent. Here are the excerpts from his speech in which he contemptuously refers to congressmen as Bengalis. The first of all is this: in whose hands shall the administration and the empire of India rest? Now, suppose that all the English and the whole English army were to leave India, taking with them all the cannons and their splendid weapons and everything, then who would be rulers of India? Is it possible that under these circumstances, two nations, the Mohammedans and the Hindus, could sit on the same throne? Could sit on the same throne and remain equal in power? Most certainly not. It is necessary that one of them should conquer the other and thrust it down. To hope that both could remain equal is to desire the impossible and the inconceivable. At the same time, you must remember that although the number of Mohammedans is less than that of Hindus, and although they contain far fewer people who have received a high English education, yet they must not be considered insignificant or weak. Probably they would be by themselves enough to maintain their own position, but suppose they were not, then our Mussulman brothers, the Pathans, would come out as a swarm of locusts from their mountain valleys and make rivers of blood to flow their frontier on the north to the extreme end of Bengal. This thing, who after the departure of English would be conquerors, would rest on the will of God. But until one nation had conquered the other and made it obedient, peace cannot reign in the land. This conclusion is based on the proofs so absolute that no one can deny it. I believe that the Bengalis, read congressmen and Hindus, have never at any period held sway over a particle of land. They are altogether ignorant of the method by which